Welcome back to Daily Planet Goes to Australia. These are the cliffs of North Head on the east coast just outside Sydney. For millennia, the only people to see these were the Aboriginal people. They've been here for more than 40,000 years. Over that time, they've recorded stories of weather change and climate change, passed them down from generation to generation. Now, you'd expect scientists to ignore such folk tales, but here, researchers are not only paying attention to them, they're actually learning from them. It is a land of sandstone and waterfalls, flowers and animals. And it is the home of the Yardwajali. This dance tells a story of how their world started. Bunjil, the Great Spirit, made the rocks come alive. First came the animals, and then the Spirit made humans. And they passed down this story and many more. The most important of these for Aaron Clark is how to predict the weather. It helped his ancestors know when to flee to this area of rock art. This was their shelter when the climate changed.
You know, Aboriginal people don't live in this environment for 40,000 years and not know how to judge what's going to happen. You know, you live in this environment and you become a part of it.
So how did they judge? They certainly didn't use the Western calendar of 4 seasons. They divided theirs into 6. Each signaled a change in nature, be it nesting birds, flowers, butterflies, eels, bees, or cockatoos. On this day, it is Pityang, the season of wild flowers.
It's a wonderful season. It's a season of vibrance, of colour. You notice many of the birds and now are singing and calling out. And you'll notice the large bucks of those kangaroos having their fight because they're looking to court all the females in that particular sort of mob.
Only the winners get to mate. 1 or 2 joeys are still in the pouch, but most are out because those winners are already courting. But amidst this time of renewal, Clark is also seeing signs of trouble.
Like here, see, this is a great example.
On this she-oak, the moss is dry.
What this is indicating is that the dry season has come a lot earlier than expected.
He also sees it in the kangaroo apple. It shouldn't be fruiting already. The insects? There's too many. And the echidnas? They are just gorging.
The echidnas are already starting to eat up a range of ants through the undergrowth. And what they're doing is trying to get as much protein and food and resources as possible into their bellies because they know it's going to be a long dry spell and they're going to have to sustain their bodies throughout that dry period.
The hot and dry season of Balambar, the butterfly, is a whole month early. And that's bad news because the land is already parched after 11 years of below average rainfall. Native knowledge says there's no hope for a break in the drought. And the Weather Office agrees. All their measurements also say the drought will continue. It's not the first time that native knowledge and modern science have agreed.
Some months ago, we were looking at the development of a La Nina situation, which suggested that we may have a period of rain in Victoria. And at almost the same time, the Indigenous people were reporting the behaviour of the cockatoos were suggesting rain.
They were starting to band together in large mobs and they were flocking and behaving in a manner that indicated to us that there was a long period of wetness coming in.
And in fact, interestingly, rain did follow.
Stern also points to El Nino as another native weather discovery. The heating of the ocean near South America is a phenomenon now used in forecasting. But long ago, the natives of Peru knew that when the Pacific was warm, it would rain and they should plant.
500 years before Western science discovered the El Nino phenomena, the people on the west coast of South America were, in a way, using it for their day-to-day living.
The native way of noting the behavior of animals and plants was once the Western way, too. 50 years ago, it stopped.
We used to do that too, and we appear to, with all of our modern technology, we did certainly lose it for a while.
But now there's renewed interest. That's why the Australian Weather Office is putting Indigenous weather knowledge on its website.
We don't want to lose that knowledge and understanding which has existed in this country for 40,000 years. There are more and more people who are coming to the part of watching behaviour of birds and plants again and trying to establish trends in the arrival of particular birds or the arrival of particular blossoms as an indicator of climate change.
Jamara Clark is learning the dance of creation. He's getting some tips on how to be a kangaroo. Sometimes it takes a nudge from his uncle's toe, but it's important to his people that their ways are passed on to the next generation. It seems their knowledge of weather is now also important to pass on to the